Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be making a video on how to install the VRTuned racing chip onto the BMW M2 coupe. So the chip itself, it's a pretty simple install. There are pictures online, but I thought I'd make a video just to make it a little bit more detailed and kind of help you guys out there on how to install it. So first things first, you're going to want to make sure the car is powered down, the doors are locked, and it says to wait about 5 to 10 minutes before the install. So once 5 to 10 minutes have passed, then you're going to want to remove the engine cover, which is quite easy. There's just 4 little bolts there. You just pull it, or clips rather, pull it and it comes right off. So once you remove the engine cover, next thing you're going to need to do is find a spot on where to place the chip itself. Now the chip itself is about 6 inches long, 2 inches high, so you're going to need to find a nice spot to zip tie it in. However, this chip, there is an issue. It requires positive current. So because of that, I went ahead and placed the chip up here in the top left corner because positive current. So, and then I used the negative current here. But I found this is probably the best spot to place the chip, right up here. I zip tied it because there's a nice cover that goes over it. Makes everything look nice and neat. So here's the harness itself. I went ahead and passed the harness under this rubber here. So I went ahead and passed it right under. So here's the harness that leads to the 3 sensors. So once you have the spot for your chip, I didn't put the positive and negative in until after I plugged in the 3 sensors. So next thing you need to do is find those 3 sensors. The first one is the manifold air pressure sensor, which is very easy to find. So right up here at the top, you just remove that clip and then you plug your harness in. The second one is pretty easy as well. So you find this unit here and you'll see the harness goes right there into that sensor. So next thing, the third sensor, which is probably the most difficult one to get to, and it's the camshaft sensor. So you find the engine oil cap, and you find this screw right here, and it goes directly underneath this screw here. So let me see if I can get a shot at it. It's pretty hard to get to, but it's right in between those two, so right in there. You're going to need to remove the intake hose. So you unscrew here, take this off, which is pretty easy. You just lift. You're going to need to remove these 4 bolts. Place that to the side and then remove the engine intake hose, which is pretty easy. You just unclip those 4 clips, and this once you take the hose off, you don't have to remove these 2 sensors, but just be really careful because this is not a rubber hose. So you remove this, you place it on top of the motor, tuck back so you can work, but just be really careful to not, pull it that way and damage the 2 sensors. So once you have the hose out of your way, you can get to this 3rd sensor here, which is the most difficult because it's a little L, connector that goes up. Once you pull it off, if you do not plug in the harness all the way in, you'll get a check engine light and a drivetrain malfunction light. So you got to be really careful. That did happen to me. So around the harness, there is a red rubber grommet. You have to make sure it's plugged all the way in to where you can't see the red anymore. And, I double, triple check it's plugged all the way in before you continue. So once you have that 3rd sensor plugged in, then you move right along, plug in your positive feed to that screw there. You could just take it off with the wrench. Then you put your negative one I use this one, easiest to get to. Then I finally plugged in my chip to the harness. So right here, I plugged that in at the very end. You can remove it. But so then once you have that installed, then you're pretty much good to go. The instructions say to, again, wait 5 to 10 minutes before you start everything back up. I definitely recommend this chip. Again, it's the VRTuned racing chip. I bought mine at Vivid Racing. They are awesome people. I bought many chips from them in the past. They help you. They send you emails. They make sure that everything is okay. this specific chip, you can really feel the power. I mean, once I installed it, I went ahead and, you know, did a test drive, threw it in sport, turned on the sport displays, and you can really see the torque meter going past 400, which before, you know, you would never see that. So you can really feel the boost and the power, especially off the line. So this chip, I highly recommend it. The instructions say that it adds about 50 horsepower, or no, it says 42 horsepower, about 72 torque. Now, of course, they're using 93 octane. So I'm thinking more realistic numbers, about 35 horsepower, maybe 40 torque. And you can definitely, I haven't dynoed it yet, but you can definitely feel that power. So, you know, I definitely recommend it. Again, I went through Vivid Racing, awesome people, and this chip is going to give you that extra power you need without doing some crazy modifications like a bigger turbo, you know, downpipe, all of that stuff. So definitely recommend it. Gives you the power you need. Very simple install. And yeah, so thank you.